In this video, we're going to look at 10 common questions most people ask about World War II. World War II was one of the deadliest conflicts in human history. It involved the vast majority of the world's nations, including all of the great powers, which were divided into two opposing military alliances, the Allies and the Axis. The war was fought in both the Eastern and Western hemispheres and was the first truly global war. More than 100 million people served in World War II, including 16 million Americans. As many as 85 million people are estimated to have died, which was about 3% of the world's population. So it's not surprising that people still have a lot of questions about this global conflict. Here are 10 common questions most people ask about World War II. Number 1. What were the causes of the war? World War II was the result of a number of complex and interacting causes. Many historians point to the Treaty of Versailles, which ended World War I as a major cause of World War II. The treaty imposed harsh penalties on Germany, including territorial losses, a reduction in military strength, and significant financial reparations. This created a sense of bitterness and resentment among the German people that was exploited by Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. Other factors include the global economic depression of the 1930s, the rise of totalitarian ideologies such as Nazism and Japanese imperialism, and the failure of the League of Nations. Number 2. Who were the major countries involved? The major countries involved in World War II can be divided into two main alliances. The Axis powers included Germany, Italy, and Japan, as well as their respective allies and colonies. The Allied powers included Great Britain, the United States, the Soviet Union, France and China, as well as their allies and colonies. 3. What were the main turning points of the war? There were several major turning points in World War II. The Battle of Midway in 1942 was a decisive naval battle in the Pacific that marked a turning point in the war between the United States and Japan. The Battle of Stalingrad in 1942 was a major battle between Germany and the Soviet Union that resulted in a decisive German defeat and marked the beginning of the end for the German war machine. The D-Day invasion in 1944 was the Allied invasion of the beaches of Normandy, France, which marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi control. The Battle of the Bulge was the last major German offensive on the Western Front and marked the final major German effort to turn the tide of the war in their favor. Number 4. Why did the United States enter the war? The United States entered World War II after the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. The attack was a surprise and caught the U.S. military off guard. It resulted in the deaths of more than 2,400 Americans and the destruction of much of the U.S. Pacific Fleet. The attack on Pearl Harbor was a major turning point in the war and led to the United States entering the conflict. Number 5. What was the role of Adolf Hitler? Adolf Hitler was the leader of the Nazi Party in Germany and played a central role in the events leading up to and during World War II. Hitler was a charismatic and ruthless leader who rose to power in Germany in the early 1930s. He was responsible for some of the most heinous war crimes, including the invasion of Poland, which started World War II in Europe, and the Holocaust, the systematic genocide of Jews and other minorities. Hitler's ideology of racial superiority and his desire for territorial expansion were central to the outbreak and progression of the war. Number 6. What was the Holocaust? The Holocaust was the systematic, state-sponsored persecution and murder of approximately 6 million Jews by the Nazi regime and its collaborators during World War II. The Holocaust was a horrific event that was made possible by the Nazi ideology of racial purity and their belief in the superiority of the Aryan race. It was carried out through a series of increasingly horrific measures, including the establishment of concentration camps where Jews and other minorities were imprisoned, tortured, and murdered. Number 7. Who was the leader of Great Britain? Great Britain was led by a number of prominent figures during World War II, including King George VI, Prime Minister Winston Churchill and his predecessor, Neville Chamberlain. Winston Churchill was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom from 1940 to 1945 and is widely regarded as one of the greatest wartime leaders in history. Number 8. What was the Pacific Theater? The Pacific Theater refers to the region and theater of war in the Pacific Ocean and Asia during World War II. It was characterized by a series of major battles between the United States and Japan, including the battles of Pearl Harbor, Midway, Guadalcanal, and Iwo Jima. The Pacific Theater was a major part of World War II and had a significant impact on the outcome of the war. Number 9. When did the war end? World War II officially ended on September 2, 1945, when Japan signed the Instrument of Surrender aboard the USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay. This followed the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Soviet declaration of war on Japan. Number 10. What were the major consequences of the war? World War II had profound consequences that continue to be felt today. It led to the formation of the United Nations, the beginning of the Cold War, and the decolonization of much of the world. It also resulted in significant advancements in technology, medicine, and our understanding of the world. This is just a brief overview of World War II, and there are many other important events, battles, and figures that could be discussed. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more historical content. Thanks for watching.